Welcome back, champions. So I hope we are ready for an excellent start on today's lesson. Before we get started, I'd like to recognize that all of us have made it all the way through our distance learning experience. Guys, that is an amazing achievement. You're the first people in history to ever experience education like this, and you have knocked it out of the park. Give yourself a pat on the back. Yes. Well, I hope you guys enjoy your Memorial Day weekend and enjoy this last video. Please try your best and show your greatest effort, because that's what champions do. All right, guys, enjoy. Welcome back, champions. In this video, we'll be going over solving repeated addition equations using 3 easy steps. Let's get started. Step 1 says to read the equation and label the equation. So let's read the equation. Our equation says 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals blank. So we need to label our equation. When we are labeling our repeated addition equations, it's going to be the exact same process as labeling our regular addition equations, which means we are going to be looking for our whole number. And we're going to be doing our parts to find our whole number. We are going to use each one of our parts to find our whole number. Now, let's label our parts and our whole. Once we have our equation properly labeled, we are ready to move on to step 2. Which is model the equation. When we are modeling the equation for repeated addition, we are going to be using circles and tally marks. Our circles will be used for our groups, and our tally marks will be used for our parts. Now, our groups is how many times a number is repeated. So if we have the number 3 up here 1, 2, 3, 4 times, we have 4 parts. That's how many groups we're going to have. That's how many groups. We're going to have 4 groups in our equation. So let's take a moment to draw our 4 groups, 4 circles. When we come back, we will have 4 circles written out on our page. Now that we have our 4 circles drawn, representing how many times we see our parts, we're ready to draw in our tally marks for our parts. So our part says that it has 3. So for every single one of our parts, we're going to write 3 in each one of our circles, because that's how many 3s are there. So we'll write 3 in the first circle, representing our first part. We'll write 3 in the second circle, representing our second part. We will write 3 in the third circle, representing our third part. And we will write 3 in our fourth circle, representing our fourth part. We have successfully modeled our equation. Now we are ready to solve the equation and answer with a complete sentence. We're ready for step 3. To solve our equation, we're needing to count up the tallies that we made in our circles. That is how we're going to find our whole number. Our original equation said 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is going to give us our whole number. And we are going to count up each of these 3's to give us our whole number. That is how we solve the equation. So let's count them together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our whole number is going to be all the tallies written in our circles. And we found out that we have 12 tallies in total. So our whole number is 12. And we can write that in here as well. And now we need to answer the equation in a complete sentence. So take 30 seconds to write your answer in a complete sentence. When we come back, we will share and compare. Our complete answer is: there are 12 total tally marks in 4 groups with 3 tallies in each group. There are 12 total, 12 altogether, in 4 groups, 4 circles, because we have the number 3 repeated 4 times, and we have 3 tallies in each group representing our parts, and we have 3 in each circle because of our parts. We have solved number 1. Great effort, guys. Now let us move over to number 2. Number 2 says, Lunam, Layla P, and Christian each have $3. How much money do they have in total? So we are going to be doing all of these steps together. Starting with step 1. We have read the equation. Now let's label the equation with our whole and our parts. Once we have read our equation, labeling our equation will come straight from what we read. So, Lunam, Layla P, and Christian each have $3. How much money do they have in total? So anytime a question is asking us for the total, we're going to be looking for our whole number. So we can find our whole number by adding up the parts. Now, we need to understand how many times our parts will be present because we are doing repeated addition. So, how many times will we write our part? Take 30 seconds, pause the video to decide how many times will we be writing our part. The story problem says that Lunam, Layla P, and Christian each have $3. So, if we're going to find out how much money they have in total, we're going to be adding 3 parts 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 3 parts, and we will see that part 3 different times because each part represents each person's part. So Lunam's part, Layla's part, and Christian's part all have to be represented so we can find out how much they have in total. So now that we have our equation labeled, we are ready to model our equation using our circles and tally marks. So go ahead, pause the video here, and when we return, we will share and compare our models for our equation. Our model for number 2 will look like 3 circles representing 3 of our people, and then 3 tally marks in our 3 circles representing our parts. Now, once we have properly labeled our circles and our tally marks for our groups and our parts, we are ready to solve the equation and answer with a complete sentence. And we remember that to solve our equation, all we have to do is count the tally marks in the circle. So whenever we return, we will share and compare how many tally marks we counted all together. So the answer that we should have gotten was 9. Because after we've counted our tally marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we would have came to the number 9 and we would have correctly answered our question. So now we are ready to completely finish step 3 with answer the question with a complete sentence. How much money do they have in total? Pause the video here. When we return, we will discuss what our answer is. So our complete answer for how much money do they have in total, we'd write they have $9 in total. And great effort there, guys. Excellent work. Now we are ready to move on to number 3. Number 3 says, Enrique and Eliel each earned 5 pencils in Miss Madden's class. Then Ricardo and Alex earned 5 pencils. How many pencils did Miss Madden give out? You are going to solve this one all on your own. Please follow steps 1, 2, and 3. And when we return, we will share and compare. Be sure to properly label your equation, properly model your equation, and answer with a complete sentence. When we return, we will go over each of these 3 steps. Pause the video here. Give yourself 1 minute to complete. So, for number 3, we should have gotten the answer. Miss Madden gave 20 pencils out. We know that Miss Madden gave 20 pencils out because the story problem told us how many pencils were given, so it gave us the parts, and then it told us how many people got 5 pencils, and we know that that's the groups 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times, we should see 5 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We should see 5 4 times. And we know our 5's pretty good, so we should have been able to just say 5, 10, 15, 20 to figure out that we got 20. Or if not, of course, we should have drawn out our groups 1, 2, 3, 4 and entered in the tally marks for our parts with 5 in each group to give us 20 as our whole number. So if you got 20 as your whole number, give yourself a pat on the back. Excellent work. That one was a bit challenging. And if you did not get the correct answer, that is okay, because I know that my champions are going to take the time to figure out where they went wrong and to correct any mistake that they may have made. And I know it'll be excellent. Now, let's move over to number 4. Please use steps 1 through 3 to solve number 4 all on your own. When we return, we will share our answers and compare our steps. Give yourself 30 seconds to solve number 4. Pause the video here. So for number 4, we should have gotten 16 as our whole number. We know that the answer is 16 because we have 4 groups of 4 parts, and we have counted up each of our tally marks from our parts, added them all together to get 16. Our complete sentence would be, there are 16 total tally marks in 4 groups with 4 tallies in each group. 4 tallies in each group, 1, 2, 3, 4. And each group, 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 16 tallies total. If you found 16 as your whole number, give yourself a great big pat on the back. And if not, go ahead and check your work. I know once you check your work, you're going to totally understand the equation and how to find our whole number. All right, so excellent work, guys. You made it all the way to the end of your video. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you at Touch Base Tuesday and Wise Champion Wednesday to go over our work. Please enjoy this material and take your time with it, guys. It is a bit challenging, and you should feel confident that you are so smart that you can get all the way through all this work. All right, friends, I'll see you next time.